It is a rainy day. Combine's got its oil change and ready to go to the field and other stuff. And well, I've still got time to play with this. So we're gonna see about, putting that thermostat in. This thing will just keep hitting the bucket. Oh, no. Like a narrow path in there. Anybody else gotta go to the bathroom? Oh, come on. Maybe if I relieve the pressure. Nope, that made no difference. All right, well, we can get that down that far. That should be plenty. Probably a gallon would be plenty, but dip. Oh, slow down. Come on. Oh, right there. A little more. Oh, wait. Too much. There. It'll change again. Because, hey, why not? I'm just going to say which wrenches I need to get. Oh, no, not there. One of those, what is the word I'm looking for? Funnel. That would probably be a really... Right there. A funnel would probably be a good thing. Anyways. It has these wire clamp, radiator hose clamps. I think I'll be replacing those with, the screw type. All right, and then looks like 1/2-inch bolts there. Probably gonna need to loosen that baby up for the bypass. Yeah. Come on, there you go. Just open her up a little more. And so I can, twist it in there to move it ahead. So let's do those, see if I can get away from this long enough to get tools before it changes its flow again. All right. Oop, wrong way. That's probably enough. And I've started the mess. Now anything else that spills, I don't feel so bad. I forgot to push the record button, so you missed all the excitement of me loosening up these wire clamps. But I guess this way the children can keep watching. Yeah, I think just this cover will have to come off. Before I look at it. I guess it depends on where that thermostat's sandwiched in there. Something I did forget to do is, this thing is just so old and stiff. I think it's time for a knife. One thing what did I say I forgot to do? I forgot to tell what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Nope, still forgot it. Ha! All right, let's place our bets. Is there a thermostat in there? Let me turn on the light and we'll all find out together. If I can tell from that laugh. No, there is not a thermostat in there. Big surprise. There will be by the time I'm done. All right, well, next thing is those 1/2-inch headed bolts. Oh, good. Bolts around coolant have this bad habit of getting corroded and breaking off. The thermostat did come with 2 gaskets, so maybe it does get back there, or I probably ought to do them both, because once the bolts are loose, you know, bad things could happen. 1. Yeah, they're actually quite nice and clean. Yep, of course the backside comes off first. Well, let's just loosen this hose clamp up. Probably might as well replace that hose too, as long as we're this far. Although it doesn't look bad. Let's see if I got something on hand. If not, it might stay. Yeah, I'm going with there's no thermostat in there. Well, I guess we just need to clean things up, and there's also no gasket in there. Go figure. Well, I got that hose off, and you know, what should have been just leave it alone, this is how it came off. It wasn't that bad, but it is so close to this timing cover, and I think what I've got to replace it is thicker yet. It did not want to come by. So, you know, just great. Let's see if I can get this hose clamp. Yep. At least I can get that off. Now I'm wondering about if I can remove this fitting so I can clean it up and maybe get the hose on it and then screw the fitting in. Let's see what I can do. Oh, bigger than 1 1/16, probably 1 1/4 inches. It is 1 1/4 inches. Okay, be good to me. Ah, I said be good to me. Oh, that didn't sound good. Well. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Once again, probably shouldn't mess with things. Try to clean it up the best I can before I break something else. Look at me go. Yeah, let's try to keep the tears to a minimum. Who thought that was a good idea? Putting them so close together. Oh, what do I do with my new hose? Yeah, that's going to be a challenge. Oh, biscuits. Biscuits, biscuits, biscuits. At least I can get a clamp on there even with it on. You know, disassemble it, put it back together. Let's try something. This aviation forma gasket is actually pretty slick when it's first applied. So it would have, you know, 2 advantages. It would help it slide on and then help it seal up once it's on. So we're going to give it a whirl. Let's get that slickened up side towards the back there. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe. And then we got other ideas. Yes, we do. I've got I got a bearing driver that fits that hose nicely. Put just a little chamfer on that back side of the hose. It started. Good thing that's such a tough hose. You're probably really hearing it too, since the camera's right next to the thing. Is it going? I'm out of fluid film, so we'll try some Zep to lubricate that back side where it's pinching. Okay, baby. See things my way. Probably destroying this hose, and you know, everybody's screaming at their screens right now. The blasphemy. The mechanical blasphemy. Oh, come on. You're starting to go. It's definitely part way on, but I would definitely like to see more way on. Yeah, this hose is a little thicker than the one that was on there. Probably should have ground a little off from that part of the engine. Or I could pull this water neck, which I don't have a gasket for, most likely. And just delays everything. Wow, someone was just really thinking with heat here. And it ain't me at the moment. Oh my. Oh my. It's like, you know, just a smidgen more and it would be fine. Well, let me see if I can get it off there. I do have some more. Maybe I can get a silicone hose that might be thinner walled. And, you know, do it that way. There we go. Yeah, I can't even get in there to grind on it. Oh my. It just started out as a simple, you know, simple thermostat. And then things went south. Wonder if warming it up just a little bit might make the rubber a little more flexible. You know, I'm not talking burning it, but get it up to what it would be when the engine's running, you know, 180 degrees. Might make it a little more pliable. I'm grasping at straws. Honestly, them 4 bolts. Let's take this. Guess what I just need to do is look for a gasket here, because if I take the 4 bolts off, I can take that neck off the front, bring it out a little bit. Then I'll want to replace that hose. It looks like it could even be original. It doesn't feel bad. You know, and just keep chasing the rabbit farther down the hole. Should have left that one alone. So I'm pretty sure this one ain't available. I think I saw where someone posted online that some General Motors hose, if you cut it into pieces, it works good for going from the water pump down to the oil cooler. And then there's a couple other, the piece up top works good for going from the thermostat to the radiator. All from one hose. I'm gonna have to look that up too. Because how bad do I hurt this thing before I give up or end up crying? All right. I looked online, and any 1-inch heater hose I could find with the thickness of it was going to be problematic. So I'm now going to pull the LR neck off the front of the water pump and hope for the best. I'm quite confident I'll have a gasket, but it's pretty simple, so I'm just going to make a gasket. We'll start. Loosen this up. Those look like 7/16. They shouldn't be too hard to get to. I took the oil cup off the bottom of the air cleaner, and that's drained that, and we'll clean that up and put fresh oil in it. Might as well do the other side. Because, you know, I just keep, you know, might as well doing things. Someone really deserves an award for this design.
Hey, Parker, what is that? Don't bother me now, sweet. Can't see I'm busy. Yeah, but what is that? It's a major award. A major award?
Shucks, I wouldn't have known, Dad. It looks like a lamp.
Might need a universal there. Maybe not. I'm just trying to make you better. Now for the 1¼ pry bar. Come on. Ah, yeah. This has probably been on since it was new. Oh, man. Yes, fall, my pretties. Fall. All this to replace a little hose that really didn't look all that bad. Of course, that inside part doesn't want to let go. Where's that screwdriver that just hit the floor? We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, now this is hitting the air cleaner bracket. Oh my God. I think that's the only. I think if I zip those two out, it'll move ahead just enough to, you know, let me do the things that need to be done. You know, I guess they were wanting these engines to be compact and fit into as much power into a small area. That's part of the reason they were 2-stroke. Maybe if I go from the bottom, and then from the top, and then from the, there goes one of those lock washers. Okay, I think we're doing a little better now. Maybe. Once I get a Detroit powered Oliver, they said. It'll be cool, they said. Yep, that's where we're at. Oh my, so close, so close. Oh good, it stuck to the elbow side more than the water pump side. Making it easier to clean up. Now if we can just get this to break free from that hose without ruining it. Or maybe I don't want to. It would be easier. There may be some coolant involved. Give it up. Oh, man. Oh. Well, it's been a while since the swear jar has gotten anything in it. All right, here we go. The offending thing. It's just... Well, I can get the gasket cleaned up and use this as a pattern to make a new one. It shouldn't be too difficult. How's that water pump feel? I wonder if that's normal. I think I'm going to say yes. We've had enough surprises for one day. There's some backlash in that water pump, but other than that, it feels fine. Oh, it has been a couple weeks since I messed with this. Got into harvest planning. I'm sure you've probably watched some of those videos. I made myself a gasket and need to dope up both sides of that. We don't need it leaking. I did not have one. You can still get it for a couple bucks and then, you know, pay several bucks to ship it. So I just made one. Aw. My first drop of the day. Let's get that on there. I don't know if it has a specific pattern. That'll probably be the next thing. Lining my holes back up. I'm gonna put a little aviation on the inside of that hose just to make sure it seals up good, like I was doing before. And then get it on everything. There's a little pitting to that pipe nipple there. And that faces down. And oh, for posterity, we will put the original hose clamp back on. I guess if it fails, I can still get a clamp in there. A new style one. We'll go ahead and get that. And oh yeah, I think I did determine that it would probably be a good idea to just go ahead and take these two bolts. Oh, let's just give it a whirl. That hold the air cleaner bracket on, because this hose and clamp are gonna make it tough to get the bolts to line up. Yep. Oh, yeah. I'll do that. Then we can find what other bolts probably hold this thing on. Boy, it seems like two probably ain't enough. It's wiggling like two is enough. You got the support of the air cleaner hose. Guess where the camera's mounted? There we go. I think that'll get us where we need to be. Try not to dump too much mojo in the poopah. And where did I put the thingy? There it is. Okay. So we get this in here. Okay, gasket's in place. All I gotta do is get the bolt holes to line up. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, somewhere in there. And of course, this hose, you know, is keeping it from wanting to be over where it should be. There, two of them are started. That's half the battle, right? I think the other two are started now. Yes. Now I gotta do is find all my nuts and lock washers. There's all the nuts. I think I'm gonna get new lock washers for them. This bottom hose is definitely obtainable without, with everything else in place. So I'm just going to let that old hose run for the moment. I was going to look online and try to find that. Like I say, someone posted about that there was a hose for a Chevy pickup, radiator hose, that you cut the two halves, or cut it apart in two, and you had the top half and the bottom half. It had all the right bends to make it one hose into the two that would fit everything that's needed, other than this little thermostat bypass hose. Wow, all that work to get a hose on. A small hose, but on it is. We'll get this hose clamp tightened. See where I hid my screwdriver from myself. We'll leave this one up here loose because may have to adjust it some until we get that thermostat in its thing. Air cleaner support. Now, where'd you go? And there's slots on those, so I guess I probably better leave that loose until I put the hood on. Just slightly loose. I should be able to tweak it or loosen it and tighten it. Guess I'll tighten it up, then I can just loosen it up when I put the hood on to get the hole lined up for the hood. Because I'll run it before I put the hood back on. We don't need everything dancing all over the place, causing sadness. That's pretty much back where it was, according to the tracks, and the paint. We'll go with that. Like I say, I can always readjust later. I am going to use a couple of 5/16 bolts with their head chopped off to guide everything and keep them in the gaskets in place. Oops. Now, whether they allow this hose thing to go on down here, I should probably put the hose clamp on it before I get too carried away. Plus, while it's wet, it will help it slip in that hose, both into the hose and then turn with the hose. And I might have to do that air cleaner again in order to do my bolts, or let's move this bolt over here. Be that way. Thought I was, a smart guy, and I proved myself wrong. This will still help. Yeah, that got it. Oh man, I'm hiding everything from myself. I know I just saw it. Not there, not there. Well, isn't that sad? Well, the battery and the GoPro died without so much as a beep to let me know, so not sure, but last we left our intrepid hero, this thermostat wouldn't quite fit in the counter bore, but he went and cleaned it up and it fits much better now. Much more like it should. Then he dropped it. Oh no, he says. Who is going to do the farming now? There. All right. Any of the bolts that go into something near the water or coolant, these were actually quite clean. Maybe, that was in the earlier part of the video, and it's been so long, I don't remember. Out here in the real world, I don't know. But I drip it all over. anti-seize on these bolts to keep them from corroding and snapping off if someone else has to work on it. Maybe me. Hopefully it's someone else in the far distant future. Back these two guide bolts out. It's nice that the 990 is in here because I took the battery out of this to put in the 990 to run it on the auger, and well, now this needs a battery. It needs its battery back. There's another YouTube channel that shall remain nameless. Ross Silverman. And he says it's better to have a battery in every tractor because you're more likely to use them. And he may be right. But I don't know, batteries are not cheap. And all it takes is motivation. Sometimes I've got more of that than other times. Oh boy, I was close to having this done. I don't even remember why I ran out of time. I'm sure it was a commitment that I hadn't made. The type that married men have to make when they don't realize they're making them. If that makes no sense, you're probably not a married man. Looky there. Well, I might as well sneak a hose on there. That had those stupid wires. Let me go find a couple of real hose clamps and not those other things that, oh, they wouldn't have been original. Oliver wouldn't have used them. I've never seen them on anything else, Oliver. So there. How do I want my hose clamp? I want it down and out. So I might be so unfortunate as to tighten it. Like that. And how about this end? Probably the same. Although there is that panel that goes up here. Yeah. Then I'll eventually have to get back out of the other barn. Look at that. I should have grabbed the nut driver while I was right there. You probably can't see this one at the radiator, but imagine that I'm tightening it. And we're gonna face it this way. And we'll probably have to reface it another way another time. Looks like this is gonna work quite well. So if anybody's wondering what size flexible radiator hose this is, it's 2-inch inside diameter. Oh, and it was something like 14.5 inches long or something. There's the part number. I think it's at 80. It's one of those two. I'm trying to think. Continental is the manufacturer. Yeah, I think it was 14 inches. 2 by 14. Same on each end. Yeah, now that's all in place. We don't want to forget these. Our brand new hose that took a small, I need to turn that clamp just a little bit. The bolt's going to hit that timing housing. And we'll put the other one at the same angle so they look, something. Well, I guess with it being so windy, when I open the door, when I'm running it, all the exhaust should, depart without much trouble. There. Clamp, 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 clamp. I think we're ready for the juice to go back in. And now it has a thermostat. I got my old-timey radiator pail. It's probably as old as this tractor. Gurgle, gurgle. We'll let that gurgle through for a minute while I change the other air cleaner cup, oil cup. Now the gurgling stopped at the breather, or the air valve there. And it's over the radiator core, but it's not enough to come out of that. Come on. Oh, she looks dirty that way. See what kind of antifreeze protection she's got. Or maybe just too antifreeze. That looks kind of jank. Oh, the last ball's just floating. What is that? That's pretty good. Enough to where I'll add just a little water at the moment. We're gonna roll with that. It should be if it's not gurgling, it should be up there enough. I'll feel it, make sure the coolant is doing its thingy thing. Say it's above the core. That's the important part. Well, I think we're ready to fire it up. Check the oil. There's no signs of any water, coolant dripping out. Like I say, I'm over the core, so I'm up in about in here. So that should have that pretty good. I can always open this a little bit while it's running to try to let any last air out. But it should be all right. Got the battery in there. So let's just set you on to 990. It'll be a good sport. And we'll fire up the Super 99. Just making sure I didn't leave any wrenches. Ready to shoot all over. Give this one another notch on the old go-go stick. keep forgetting every time I see Corvus to get the springs for those throttle levers. I'd pull it outside, but see those dark clouds over there? There's a line of thunderstorms just about here. So, you know, we're gonna kill the mice. Hopefully, you know, having a good thermostat in it will help it, you know, clear up so it can actually warm up instead of no thermostat. Might have to open both doors. I'm feeling warm. So I'd say coolant is circulating. Sure, it's firing on all three. Hot, hot, hot. Oh, they all got heat to them, about the same. Let's go stand back out here where the air is. Woo! Can't even see it anymore. Maybe I'll open a door on the other side so I got some cross flow. Woo! All right, I'm gonna break down and open the other door because that's just bad. Okay, I caved. Just getting too thick. That poor old girl just needs some work. Something hard. Now it's got a thermostat. It can get up there where it gets warm and do, you know, things. I got some fuel additive in the tank. Hopefully that'll help. I think there's a sticky injector or ain't firing good. But we're getting hot coolant going into the water pump. But nothing getting past the thermostat as of yet. Maybe just a little bit. I feel a little warmth up here. There's probably a bleeder hole to let air through to bleed the system. Much warmer here than it is up here. Barely warm at all there. Well, we're halfway up the cold, which it would not do unless it was like plowing or something before, so we're on the right track. And how could we be on the wrong track when we go from no thermostat to a thermostat? Let's clean it up too. Still maybe slightly warmer, but not nearly as hot as this. And the longer it runs, the better it gets. Well, next mission, put the PTO in it so we can put it on the auger. Not that that's a whole lot of challenge, but it'll give it some work. Starting to get crazy. I better back it back in and Stuff's clanging and banging. Get the doors closed. Guess I'll have to be close enough, but hey, at least that exhaust cleared up. Oh, it's still in the cold. Thought we were seeing, 130 something, so let's close that. Let's give it the obligatory. That sounds better. Oh, charge system just started charging. Sprinkles on the window. Up into the work. I did say something about, backing us in. Alright. Not that one. That one. Did I do with that? There it is. Not open yet. It's almost up into the green. At least one door. At least it's not making the cloud of death anymore. Oh yeah, the winds are blowing. More rain. A few more minutes would have been nice. It ain't quite where the thermostat opened up yet. It's about 150. But it was gonna start ripping doors or something. $145. She was close. Yeah, it would have been nice. So maybe I'll wait for this little storm to pass, and then I can open the door and fire up, get it the rest of the way up to temperature without killing myself. It's definitely opened up. It's warm up there. We're gonna call that good. Once again, I've smoked the place up. It seemed like it opened right about the same time the temperature gauge got into the green, so that's ideal. I think this thing might be reading a little low, but whew. Well, now the air has cleared. I know the thermostat opened. The upper tank here is, well, it was warm. But then things, the air cleared. But it's to where I can get the hood and stuff back on, and then maybe try to get that PTO unit installed. Sheet metal goes on first. Getting closer. Might as well make sure these work while, you know, things are easy to get to. And they do. They do. He even has an original rear light that without the cab you reach over and just turn the thing and boom, it's a red light or a white light. And I guess, you know, this window opens. You could reach out through that and get that. Cool beans. Doesn't that look better? If you're wondering why the mason jars, it's kind of hard to see, but there's veins like a boat prop or an airplane prop, and they're at an angle, and they get the air spinning as it comes in, and dirt and stuff is much heavier than air, so that spinning flings it out to the edge, where it loses speed, drops down in the jar, helps get some of the dirt out. It's not gonna get it all, but the heavier particles, so you don't have to clean your air cleaner quite as often. And then you can kind of, you know, see as they get filled up that they're working and that they need cleaned out. And you'll see at tractor shows a lot of times, guys, several brands used them, and they will put maybe a little toy John Deere or whatever in there. If it's an Oliver, or if it's a Deere, they might put an Oliver or an International in there. All in fun. So that is all dressed back up. Got to get the 990 in there. Just, you know, because it can. So if this is the end of this episode, or this video, or whatever you want to call it, well, thanks for watching. And thanks for sticking around to the end. Hope to see you in the next one.